Lesson 25, Slurs and Ties, from Learn Violin Fast, Book 2. Both a slur and a tie are curved lines. They connect notes by placing notes on one bow. Any note under a slur or curved line must be played on that one bow. So there's an example here on the G string that each slur means that the notes under it must be played on one bow. In the example above, each bow gets 2 notes. So for the bow, it's kind of playing half notes, and for the left hand, it's just playing quarters. So here's the example in the book of number 25. You'll notice that there is a curved line. There's also little bow symbols to help you, and there's also bow direction. We'll start down bow, and then the next slur is up bow. And with the slurs, you'll notice that the downbeats of the first notes of the measure are always down bow. And that is one of the main reasons why we have slurs. It's not only to connect them and play them smoother, but it's also used to make sure that the downbeats work out to be down bow. The first note of the measure is down bow. Here's the example. 1, 2, 3, 4. You notice that I changed notes twice as fast as my bow. And this is one of the main reasons why slurs are very difficult. Our hands now change at different speeds. Your left fingers change before or twice as slow as your bow does. So I'm playing, so the left hand changed, but the right hand did not. Now I change, and what also makes it difficult is now the finger in the bow changes when you go to the up bow. The finger changes, the bow does not. Again, bow and finger change. Bow does not change. Both bow and finger changes. So the slurs are difficult because 1, it's a new skill, but number 2, your hands now change at different rates, different speeds, and that's what's tricky. How do you get good at this? You just have to practice that skill until a brain knows how to do it and a hands know how to execute it. Now, a slur, notes must be different, and a tie, the notes must be the same. A tie simply makes a note longer by tying it together. Often ties are used when a note needs to be long, but there's not enough beats left in the measure. The solution is to create a longer note with a tie across 2 more beats. So in the example, you'll notice that first we start with slurs, but then when we need a half note or note that is 2 beats long, we have no more beats left in the measure, so we tie in the next measure's first note into the old one, and because the notes are identical, with no separation marks, if the notes are the same, then they're tied together by the slur to create one long note. So here's the example at the bottom of page 30. 1, 2, 1, 2. Visually, you'll notice that there was a half note in there, but it's written as a quarter and a tie because it crosses bar lines. Next, we have examples of slurs on quarters and eighth notes. So we're going to play the following exercises, making sure that we'll look at the bow and we'll play the slurs as indicated in the music. And now it's going to get more challenging because now there's going to be quarters and there's going to be eighth notes. And when our fingers have to move fast, more changes, fast changes, that creates the difficulty. So here's page 31 of number 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll notice how the majority of the page, for bow purposes, they were just half notes, so I was using full bows. But then the last line, it was only 2/8 notes on a slur, so it was just a quarter note, and I switched to détaché, middle of the bow, smooth notes, but I was not using full bow for when the bow had to perform just one quarter note. I hope you're able to keep stacking all these skills. You'll notice that these exercises are almost identical to what you played before, even back to book 1. So the idea is that we learn skills of how to press the notes, then how to use the bow, and now we're manipulating the bow and sound, and we keep adding new skills to music and technique that you already know. So I hope you're able to create all of these, create all this sound and make it beautiful, and all of these skills and the way that it's progressing and scaffolding makes sense. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lesson.